shall we? So let's look at their biology. It says, evolving from land species of dragons millions of years ago, the Sea Orc exists in two family groups. The Dracopedia, Draconeel, are the snake-like species of Sea Orcs, which have been reputed to grow to titanic lengths in excess of 300 feet, 91 meters, while the Setsude is the smaller, more terrestrial family of Sea Orcs growing to 50 feet, 15 meters. Since 75% of the surface of the earth is water, Sea Orcs are the most varied and numerous of the Dracopedia class of animals. There are dozens of species that have been documented. Others are nearly extinct, and still today there are rare species that have never been seen, primarily feeding on fish, seals, shellfish, and other sea creatures. All Sea Orcs must return to the surface to breathe. Once a year, the female Sea Orc crawls to the shore or into the shallow to lay her eggs. This vulnerable time is responsible for the majority of fatalities of both adults and young. Sea Orclings are tiny when born, but quickly grow to adulthood. Similar to marine mammals, Sea Orcs have evolved limbs specialized for swimming, and these marine dragons can grow to massive sizes. The size of its skull demonstrates how this powerful animal can feed easily on even the largest whales and squids in the ocean. The long interlocking teeth allow it to snatch at fish. Able to dive to tremendous depths, Sea Orcs are the natural enemies of the giant squid, sperm whales, and large sharks. So here we have a Sea Orc egg. It says, despite the colourful and varied appearance of the Sea Orcs, their eggs are simple and often difficult to identify. It looks sort of like a little pearl, or perhaps a big pearl, depending. My sea dragon sculpture piece has little eggs that look like this. And here we have a nice landscape, of a beachfront. It says Sea Orc habitat. A peaceful sandy beach may easily hide a large number of Sea Orcs just out of sight. Which I suppose is generally for all sea creatures. How much is hidden below the sea? So let's look at their behaviour. The habitat of the Atlantic Sea Orc ranges in the northern waters, stretching from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, to the Irish Sea and fjords of Norway. In the winter, the Sea Orc migrates south to take up its hunting grounds in the Bahamas. The saltwater Sea Orc has been reported to attack ships plying the northern sea lanes since the 15th century. Some accounts of Sea Orc attacks in the southern Atlantic have been accredited to the mysterious disappearance of ships in the Bermuda Triangle. Today, the Atlantic Pharaoh Sea Orc is a rare find, having been hunted to near extinction throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. It is now protected as an endangered species. And here we have the Jormund Gander head, which is the head of the one we saw on the previous page. It says that possible largest serpent species in the sea, Jormungandr is the source of many legendary tales. So now we're going to look at their history. The word orc comes from the Latin orcus, which means both whale and the underworld. This is also where the killer whale gets the name orca. The most famous sea orc is, of course, the Loch Ness Monster, which is a Scottish sea orc. A similar account of the Scottish sea orc is in Orlando Furioso by Ariosto's, in which the maidens Angelica and Olympia are to be sacrificed to a sea orc near the Isle of Skye in Scotland. The hero Orlando stops the creature when he wedges a ship's anchor into the creature's mouth. Although some marine biologists suggest that the famous kraken of ancient mythology was a sea orc, it is believed that the kraken was in fact a giant squid. The Titanic Leviathan is also often mistaken for a sea orc, but it is believed to actually be a cetacean. The largest specimen of a saltwater sea orc is in Greenwich, England, at the National Maritime Museum. This 225-foot, 69-metre specimen was killed in the Irish Sea by the frigate HMS Pertinacious in 1787. And here we have a sketch of maybe the Jormungandr. The jaw bit seems similar, although it doesn't have the thrills. So now we're going to look at all the different species of sea orcs. First up, the one we've been seeing a lot of, the Jormungandr. Such a beautiful blue-green going across. This enigmatic sea dragon has been the subject of legend for centuries. It was believed to be extinct or merely myth until a carcass of a 200-foot, 61-metre specimen washed up on the coast of Spain in 1927. Related to the Faroe Sea Orc, it is believed to spend most of its life at an extreme depths of the oceans hunting squid and other deep-sea creatures. Because of its rarity and the lack of contemporary evidence, the Jormungandr Sea Orc has never been documented in the wild. Draconologists believe that it is the only sea orc species to lay its eggs in the ocean, allowing its young to be born in the water and leading to its scarcity due to the predation of eggs and hatchlings. So let's look at its specifications here. It says size 500 feet, 152 metres, distribution colder to moderate waters worldwide, recognition blue-green colour, frilled head, habitat deep sea, diet squid, whale, common names Thor's Bane, Jean, conservation status extinct. Next we have the Scottish sea dragon. He's quite a cute little face. Sort of reminds me of a barracuda. So let's look here first. A brackish water sea dragon, the Scottish sea dragon, may be found inland among freshwater lakes. It is known to travel from one body of water to another nearby, although it is quite vulnerable on land and will only come ashore under the cover of night. Because of this behaviour, some dragonologists consider it more closely related to the sea lion, see chapter 3, than the sea orc. Reclusive in nature, the Scottish sea dragon avoids contact with larger animals and relies largely on a diet of grasses and small fish. Although thought to have been extinct, new evidence points to a small number that are still present in colder bodies of water. So let's look. Its size is 40 to 70 feet, 12 metres to 21 metres. Distribution: Northern Hemisphere, Northern Seas and major lakes of Scotland, Iceland and Scandinavia. Recognition: long sinuous neck, large flippers for swimming and a spinal frill. All the way down here. Habitat: deep cold water lakes. Diet: small fish, vegetation. Common names: Nessie, Champ, Ogopogo, and, oh gosh, this is going to be a mouthful, Lagavij Otsomo. I really butchered that, I think. Conservation status: uncommon. It's strange to look at these two together, because by the pictures you would think that the Scottish sea dragon is much bigger, but in reality, I suppose because it's like the deeper you go, the bigger the creature, and because it lives in the deep sea of the ocean, the Jormungandr will naturally, in most cases, be a much, much, much bigger creature than something that tends to be in lakes. So now we have the sea lion, which was mentioned a second ago, and very clearly not the sea lion that we know. So let's have a look. There is no confusing this dragon species with the mammal that shares its name. Yes, there we go. The Draconian sea lion can be found in shallow waters and coastal areas worldwide, and unlike the sea orc that spends its entire life in the water, it gravitates to rugged coastline where it seeks shelter, hunts and lays eggs among the rocks and caves. However, it is a powerful hunter, and the Draconian sea lion's jaw has been known to break through wooden ship hulls and snap oars, and can pose a threat to almost anything in the water. He has quite a cute little face, actually. Much more of a lion than our sea lion. Specifications: size 15 feet 5 meters. Distribution worldwide. Recognition: powerful forelimbs, distinctive dorsal spikes, striping. So all the dorsal, and almost, I'm not sure if this is perhaps also just spiking or if it's supposed to be a fur-like. So habitat: rocky coastline. Diet: carnivore. Common names: sea hag, ketia. Conservation status: least concern. Even its fins, the ends are like little claws, or perhaps big claws, maybe not centuries, devouring huge numbers of cod and other food fish from North America to Europe. Hunted throughout the 19th century, the hammerhead became a rare sight until its placement on the endangered list in the 1970s. Draconologists have speculated about the function of the unique hammerhead crest that gives this sea orc its name. Some believe that it's used during mating or for self-protection during hunting, but recent studies have discovered that the hammerhead crest holds a significant amount of sensory organs, allowing it to hunt and detect prey from up to 5 miles, 8 kilometers away. So it's almost like whiskers, but in a very extra way. It says the size is 25 feet 8 meters, distribution North Atlantic, recognition broad hammerhead crest, long eel-like tail, habitat oceans, diet carnivore, common names pickaxe, boomer, anchorhead, conservation status endangered. He also has, I don't know if it's just because of the painting, but these pretty gold specks. So now we have the frilled sea orc. This aggressive and beautiful deep water sea dragon has been the longing of deep sea fishermen for hundreds of years. Today, sport fishing for prized sea orcs is a big business, with prices for the meat exceeding their weight in gold in Japan. The 1995 World Fisheries Act, along with the World Dragon Protection Fund, attempted to protect these animals from overfishing, but poachers in unregulated waters routinely illegally hunt these sea dragons. Today, sea dragons like the frilled and striped have become immensely popular in pop culture, as TV shows like Dragonhooked, a cable fishing show, have spiked the popularity of sport sea dragon fishing around the world. He's very cute, isn't he? His little face. So his size is 30 feet 9 meters, distribution North Atlantic, recognition long snout, frilled fins, habitat deep ocean, diet carnivore sardines and mackerel, common names blue sea dragon, conservation status endangered. Now we have the Pharaoh Sea Orc that we've seen being mentioned a few times. So, the largest verified serpent, the Pharaoh Sea Orc, was once more common throughout Atlantic waters, but today it appears in the northern waters between Norway and Greenland. The concentration of sightings in this area is what has given this beast its name. Until the early 1900s, the Pharaoh Sea Orc had been hunted in an annual rite by some Scandinavian fishing communities. Today, this species remains under protection. Sightings have been recorded in the waters north of Iceland more than in recent decades. Again, has a very barracuda-like look to him. Its size is 61 meters. Distribution Atlantic Ocean, recognition long serpentine body, habitat deep ocean water, diet carnivore, common names egg-days serpent, devil's tail, conservation status endangered. This one also has that very barracuda look to him. One of the only species of sea orc that lives in fresh water, the electric sea orc, much like its eel cousin, shocks its prey with electricity to disable it. Because of the size of the electric sea orc, animals as large as buffalo have been killed by the shocks of these deadly water dragons, and humans who live near its habitat routinely fall prey to its deadly attacks. He is very cool looking, super alien-like. Its face reminds me of something, but I really cannot think of the name or what I'm trying to describe. But maybe I can think of it during editing and put a picture up. So its specifications are size 12 feet 4 meters, distribution Amazon and Sub-Saharan African rivers, recognition spear-like bill and multicolour body, habitat shallow freshwater rivers and lakes, diet carnivore, common names lightning fish, Tesla's coil, conservation status threatened. I love his little tiny little arms, like a T-Rex's front arms. Next we have the flying sea orc. The flying sea orc is one of the most common and smallest of the Orcadracidae family of dragons. These sea orcs call in thousands, misclassified as a fish for centuries. The flying sea orc is a natural evolution of terrestrial dragons that took to the sea looking for ample food. Caught by the hundreds in tropical and subtropical waters of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, the flying sea orc is one of few dragons with least concern conservation status. Coming ashore every year by the thousands to lay their eggs, they are common prey to predators and humans alike, and are often used for sushi and other delicacies. He is also very cool looking for what you would probably, some people might consider just a fish with wings, but he's a pretty cool face, almost shark-like. Let's look at the specifications. Size 16 inches 41 centimeters. Distribution South Pacific and Atlantic. Recognition fin-like wings. Habitat tropical and subtropical waters. Diet carnivore. Common name wave dragon, flying dragonfish. Conservation status least concern. Look at this one, this is really cool as well. I know I'm saying that for all of them, but they are really cool. So now we have the striped sea orc. Considered by many dragonologists to be one of the most dangerous of all the dragon species, this fast and highly predatory sea orc hunts for fish, seals and other sea dragons in the warm southern Pacific waters near Australia. The large radius of a striped sea orc bite allows the dragon to hunt large prey with sudden swift attacks, taking mortal bites from larger animals, even as large as whales. So its specifications are size 25 feet, 8 meters, distribution South Pacific, recognition distinctive green and pink striping, habitat warm waters, diet carnivore, common names sea tiger, king crate, conservation status threatened. So now we have the mantis sea orc, which again, very cool and very beautiful I think, with this shark-like head and the rest of it looking like a manta ray that we know. So it says the mantis sea orc is one of the most rare and majestic, I would agree, of all the marine dragon species. This elegant sea orc with its huge wingspan glides through the tropical seas of the South Pacific, grazing on small sea creatures such as krill and jellyfish, giving it its Latin name, ocean angel. dragons are size 12 feet 4 meters, distribution South Pacific, recognition wide wing-like fins, white veined skin, habitat tropical oceans, diet carnivore, common names hooded orc, night cloak, ocean angel, conservation status critically endangered. I think all the ones here are so fascinating. I think Sea Orcs, I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but I think things below the sea, no matter if they're real or not, they are just so detailed and fascinating to look at. And that's it for our Sea Orcs. Next time we will take a look at Fey dragons. But again, that'll be for next time. So, thank you for joining me again. I'm really having a blast looking through these together. And it's nice to